just in case anyone's jaw fell down on the floor, like, apa dia ni cakap ni? Let me try to explain. Before you go and play a game in a team, you have to train first to know whether you're good enough for the team, right? Before you go out and show to people, tada, I'm the best in the game.
Whole thing about futures, I mean, right now people are using to do all sorts of weird stuff, making lots of money or losing lots of money. But if you really look back at the kind of history of where futures actually started, so this actually started, I'm going to tell a little bit of a story, all right? So back then, people would like plant crops and all that, so they would plant, let's say, we use paddy lah, got rice here, we're all Malaysians, so kita makan nasi kan. So they would actually plant rice. But then, the thing was that they didn't know, all these farmers, kesian, they plant the rice, but they don't know whether they can sell the rice or not. Because, what's the price of the rice, 3 months, 6 months down the road, or they plant, once a year, what if suddenly got a lot of rice, your neighboring countries, they also produce a lot of rice. So that kind of made the price of rice unstable. So that made it that, should I tanam padi or not? After I tanam, then after that got no buyer, nobody wants to buy. There's no market for that, right? Yeah.
Right.
So what actually happened was that somebody came up with this brilliant concept called futures, which is basically that they actually set a price that in the future, I confirm I will actually buy this rice, this paddy off you at this particular X price. So the paddy farmers, of course, happy lah, got this guaranteed, I'll be able to, sell my paddy at this price, at this price. So, that's kind of the history of where, futures actually come from. So futures basically is an obligation that someone is actually at some point in time that's specified by a certain commodity or stock or basically any asset class, at a particular price. All right. Okay, so now you're experts on futures already.
Okay. So so I understand that, but the question now is, people say you can lose a lot. Not people say, I've seen it happen. You can lose a lot of money and at the same time gain a lot of money when it comes to futures. How?
Sure. That happens actually with both futures, warrants, and options. Maybe let me just to just clarify. Futures, warrants, and options. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as mentioned, futures is an obligation to actually buy a certain asset class at a certain point at a certain price. Options, its name is called options. Okay. So being an option, it basically means you have an option at a particular date or time whether you want to buy this asset at a particular price or not. So you can say yes, you can say no. So it's like a ticket for you, yeah.
It's like futures, but you have an option to opt out.
Correct. Yeah, you don't have to execute the option. In other words.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's it. Yeah,
that
interesting and easy to understand. That
slightly more safer. Okay.
It is. Futures is more risky compared to options. And then you have your options versus warrants. So warrants are actually just very much like options. The only difference is who issues it actually. So options can be issued by any party, while warrants are issued by the company themselves. So let's say I am the company, my company is called Top Hat, for example, yeah, and I'm issuing basically what are options, but they're called warrants because I'm Top Hat and I'm issuing warrants for Top Hat. Yeah, so that's basically the difference between warrants and options. You need to know, what's your strategy actually with trading, whether it's options and all that. There's a lot of different strategies out there. It's slowly gaining more interest as well, but it is actually a higher risk investment, although there's again various varying risks to it as well. What I would actually suggest is, if you're actually looking at it, don't go all in with your actual money first. Open up a virtual account, or what is known as a paper trading account, and actually trade that on regular basis. Make sure that your beliefs and your strategy and all that actually works. And usually people would also be very focused as well.